Archlord II is shutting down. Hi-Rez Studios reveals more Paladins gameplay footage. All that and more. I'm Zach Sharps, and this is Free to Play Weekly. First up in the news this week, Creative Assembly's free-to-play title, Total War Arena, cleared a major milestone on its way to launch. Heading into closed beta, Total War Arena has received a new barbarian faction, a new map, commander orders, consumables, as well as the usual bug fixes. The title seems to be progressing well, however, I've never really been a huge fan of the Total War series. That being said, Total War Arena, by the looks of it at least, looks fairly decent. What do you think? Just over 20 days ago, Archlord II had its final update. This week, WebZen announced that the free-to-play MMORPG will be shutting down on November the 24th. No official reason was given in the announcement, however they did state some lifetime stats regarding the game, which are the following. Over the course of its life, over 300,000 players have logged onto Archlord II for a combined total of over 5 million hours of playtime. Not to be rude here, but if only just over 300,000 players logged into Archlord, that gives us a good bit of insight on why they'll be shutting their doors. Simply just didn't retain enough of a population. With this year rich with MMO shutdowns, another one bites the dust. The Aliens Call update for Skyforge is already going to introduce a lot of new things to the game. This week, even more changes were announced. This time around though, the devs profiled some major changes that will be coming to Pantheons. Did you like clans? If so, that's too bad because now they're axed. Instead, Skyforge will go with a simpler, more classic management system. Also, distortion analyzers will get some tweaking. Those looking to Pantheon hop your way to distortion heaven will now get hit with a debuff, not allowing you to participate in a distortion for 7 days after you join said Pantheon. These particular changes seem fair and reasoned, but not something to convince myself to come back to the game. However, a nice added touch for players anticipating Aliens Call already. Step 1, make an almost completed game. Step 2, release Founders Packs. Step 3, take yourself to the bank to deposit all the money you just racked in, and repeat. Seems like clockwork nowadays that whenever an MMO launches or is thinking about going into closed beta, Founders Packs are also on their way. Dragomon Hunter is no exception to this, as Arya Games announced their new free-to-play MMO will be heading into closed beta on October the 15th. Alongside the date, we also got news of 5 Founders Packs ranging from $19.99 all the way to a whopping $299. Each of these Founders Packs are built around specialties. Do you like companions? There is a pack for that. If you prefer mounts, there's a pack for that too. If you don't already know though, Dragomon Hunter is a title all about hunting, collecting, breeding, defending your ranch, and leveling up new mounts. However, what it isn't about is shying away from big price tags on its Founders Packs. It's time for the question of the week. Last week on the show, I asked what MMO you guys would like to see a full loot system implemented in, and why. A user by the name of Almighty Power stated the following: I play Arcage and I'd love to see a full loot system in that game. It would make PvP less of an annoyance and more of a danger. Of course, if they had to do this in Arcage, they would need to change a lot with how players craft, regrade, and obtain gear in regards to how it is now. It has been out for a year and no one is max geared or even close to being max geared. Thanks for your response, and as always guys, if you want your comment possibly featured in next week's episode, make sure to leave a comment down below. This week's question is, what is the most you have ever spent on a Founders Pack and why? Curious on what games you guys bring up. Personally, the most I've ever spent is $60. However, I've been tempted numerous of other times to spend bigger sums. Luckily, I didn't for how those games ended up. With the team-based shooter genre on the rise, Hi-Rez Studios is looking to get in on that piece of the pie. We've known about Paladins, their upcoming free-to-play game, since Gamescom, but there wasn't much gameplay shown unless you were actually at the event. This week, Hi-Rez Studios cured that issue by releasing a fair bit of gameplay. With this gameplay trailer, however, gameplay is not really the focus, but what's there does look interesting. I'll be one to say though, the team-based shooter market is obviously on the rise with Team Fortress 2, Overwatch, Dirty Bomb, Lawbreakers, and Paladins. The last time a genre exploded with Aspiration though, we saw many MOBAs bite the dust as they didn't do much different compared to their genre leaders. We aren't at the point of that many team shooters releasing just yet, but it will be interesting to see how the game fares in a few years with very similar titles hitting the market. Will they succeed? Will they fail? Which will reign supreme? Who knows, but it will be fun to see. You know what is also fun to see? Giveaways, of course. As you guys know, make sure to check out the giveaways page, bookmark it, and check it daily to ensure that you never miss one. As for myself, signing out until next week's Free to Play Weekly, I'm Zach Sharps, and I'll catch you guys next time.